Just back from IT Nation Secure 2025 and right outside of Orlando. It was a great event. Many vendors, many MSPs, just focused on security. The keynote kicked off and there was 4 people up on stage, a panel, and they were from different companies, not just ConnectWise. ConnectWise is trying to make this community, not just what they offer, but with others as well. But the vendor hall was full. There was lots of great vendors. I was able to have 16 conversations with great guests right there at the resort. I had great guests, great guests. First started with Gene Templin, MSP Sales Reimagined. Gene's in the Pitch It program, the ConnectWise, it's not new, but new for this year, incubator program. Jamie Williams, my friend from a long time ago, marketing before sales. MSPs, are you listening? Oh, Ricardo from Lumu. Yes, my fellow aviator. I've known Ricardo for a couple of years now, and great conversation. Ricardo. Oh, Rayanne, of course, Rayanne from ABC. The name of the episode is From Cables to Closing. Fascinating backstory to Rayanne and what she does now, also in the Pitch It program. Mike Estep from Blackpoint Cyber. Great story from MSP to vendor now. Blackpoint's a great security company, and it was a great conversation with Mike. Mark Balanov, first time I met Mark, really great conversation. Really enjoyed it. Talking about cyber lessons. David Chernitzky, fascinating background from Russia to Israel to Canada to what he knows about the martial arts and everything he learned from the best people in cybersecurity there in Israel. Great conversation. David, Matt Holland, first time I met Matt, great conversation from Spy Tech to MSP Simplicity. Tanner Cookson, fascinating from great company. MSPs getting paid quickly. We talked about rowing, riding, and revenue. Tim Weber, cybersecurity firm now. He's a volunteer firefighter in Connecticut, my home state. Joel Cahill, great conversation with Joel. I've known Joel for quite a while now. First time we ever sat and talked like this. The episode's Cold Plunges, Hot Takes, and Cyber Strategy. But great conversation with Joel. Paul Lupo from Bitdefender. Paul's been around for quite a while, and he has great stories and great insight on the great company that Bitdefender is. David Rasapor from ConnectWise, new CPO. Wonderful insights from David, his background in Iran, and David is just a true engineer. Ozzy Saeed from Compliance, he actually helped write the specs to CMMC. Fascinating conversation with Ozzy and the saltwater fish tanks as well, one of his great hobbies. Sarvash Rao, of course, I've known Sarvash for a couple of months now, really focusing on MSPs, helping those SMBs with his with the security platform. And of course, ended with Matthew Benazari. Great conversation about, started with climbing. He's a great climber, about cyber fires and MSP fortitude there at Arete, and great conversation. Thanks all for being part of this, and thanks everyone for listening and watching.
Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. I found myself at 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. I took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People ask me, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to lose weight. How'd you do it? How did I lose the weight? Just one word: discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others.
Yeah. So the form of karate that you do, explain it again?
It's called Okinawan Goju-Ryu. It is actually the original style of karate.
South Korean?
It started in Okinawa.
Oh, Okinawa, Japan.
All karate started actually in China, came to Okinawa, and then it's expanded to mainland Japan.
I see.
And it's not a beautiful type of karate that you see in the movies. It's somewhat very short, somewhat very not impressive, but extremely effective. And we don't do even competitions because it's designed to stop the fight in shortest time possible, to inflict most damage to attacker. It's self-defense art.
Wow.
Look it up. Look it
Yes.
up on YouTube.
How did you get involved with this?
I doing karate for almost 40 years. Wow. Since a little age, like I have an interesting, quite different story from many people here. I was born in Russia, in communist Russia, actually. Then family immigrated to Israel. I spent 12 years in Israeli Defense Forces. I lived there 15 years, but spent 12 years in the army.
Wow.
And for the last 20 years, I live in Canada and travel the world.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So from Russia to Israel, how old were you?
15.
15. And then you joined the military there.
At the age of 18 till 30. And then I moved to Canada.
Wow. And where were you introduced to martial arts?
In Russia, actually. It was you had to survive.
I see. Yeah.
Judo, karate, kung fu, a lot of boxing. Look at my broken nose.
Yes. So you had no choice. And then in Israel, there's a lot of Krav Maga.
In the military, they teach you Krav Maga. I actually was much bigger. I had a big mass when I was 18. I was fighting. I was a second place in Israel in the open weight fighting.
Wow.
But once you're coming to army, I was in the infantry for first couple of years. They called me Rhino. I literally was carrying insane amount of weight on me. But then at certain time, they start to teach you how to fight Krav Maga. And all beautiful kicks that you can see in the movies, you cannot do it with 45 kilo on you. Once you have machine gun and that, so right. Krav Maga, it's also designed to stop fight, to protect yourself, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting way to stop the fight. So like jiu-jitsu isn't like that though, correct?
It's karate is self-defense art.
Right.
You never start the fight. It's always a reaction, and we actually can talk about it today. It's my philosophy as well. Many times in cybersecurity situations,
yes,
you know what is a threat. You need to be ready to prevent it, and sometimes you need to react. So it will not evolve and grow.
And how did you get introduced into cybersecurity?
As part of my military service, I studied in one of the best universities in Israel, computer science, and eventually it's not natural evolution. I got older, they said, okay,
Wow.
we need officers in a technological elite unit of intelligence corps. I got there. It was incredible experience
Really?
to learn from the best of the best. Everyone heard about 8200 unit. There's bunch of other units that have a lot of smart guys.
Really?
Yeah, so I had privilege to serve in this unit for many years. Learned a lot of stuff, and cybersecurity, it's one aspect. There is other aspects of cyber. You learn from both worlds.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're around all those brilliant people in a university setting like that, David, is it just a lot of listening? Just shut up and listen? How's the format there? How the classes? How does it work?
Yeah, I will disclose my age properly, most probably, but I went to university in 95,
okay.
And it was very different experience back then, but it was, I have a son right now that goes to university finishing computer science next year. It's a very different dynamics from how they taught you back then and how they teach you right now. And but one of the stories that I have to tell, I'm telling to all young guys, in 95, database structures, and it's huge auditorium, 200, 300 students sitting, and this professor comes in saying, who wants to be car mechanic? Maybe one clown in the class raised their hand, but no one raising the hand. Who wants to be a programmer?
They all raised.
All hands went up, and then he said, then he's going stupid. He said in 60s in US, everyone wanted to be a car mechanic. It was very lucrative job, paid well, and you guys don't understand that 10 years from now, India investing big time into technology education. They actually will replace all of you. And
wow.
Back then it was 95. Oh, this guy don't understand what he's saying. Look where we are today.
Yeah.
He was genius, right? He's seen it forward, and I think it was interesting transformation to see. I lived in India for 2 years. I built outsourcing centers. It's interesting to see how this theory of flat world actually became to be a real reality today. That it doesn't matter where you're located on a planet. It doesn't matter what is your background. As long as you understand what you're doing, you can contribute. And we actually embracing this model today. My team today, I'm running cybersecurity company. My team today positioned globally. I have people in Israel, Dubai, Romania, Ecuador, US, Mexico, and Canada.
Wow.
Why to hire just in your city if you can get the best talent that can help your company and eventually your clients to get the best results? So to your question, they taught us well, and we listened to what the professor was saying back then, but the angle evolves. How do you look at it?
Right.
All the time. Yeah.
So we're here in Orlando. It's ConnectWise IT Nation Secure. What are some of your goals this weekend?
So maybe just a few words about Armor Cybersecurity. We started as a company 7 years ago. I worked for many years in IT, but I seen the opportunity on the market. And as a matter of fact, I worked for a very large provider for telecommunication industry. And they asked us to do something related to cyber. And, it's like cyber, it's like bicycles. Oh, my God, I did it before. I understand what we are doing here. And we did this project that opened our eyes. We started the company. We provide today full range of cyber defense services, advisory services, professional services, managed services, incident response, and business growing extremely fast. Certain years we're growing around 40 to 50% a year.
Wow.
And we operate globally today because cyber is I always saying, Alexei is a hacker from Moscow. He's not sitting in Orlando. He sits somewhere else.
Yes.
So it's a bit like martial arts. You're matching the stance. You don't have to have cyber people here or in Mexico City or Toronto or New York. You're getting access to the best globally. And what we see as the problems today at ConnectWise conference is actually fantastic because this problem, I'm talking about it for last 4 or 5 years. Too many technology, not enough people, big damages, and everything hyper-connected, people modernizing. And this is exactly what we are doing today. We work with many channel partners, 40 to 50 IT providers, integration companies that they don't have cyber capabilities. My core team is relatively small, about 25 people, but I have 200 pre-selected, pre-tested contractors that I bring in context for engagements and giving this IT MSPs capability to help their clients at the world class at very affordable pricing. And we managed to build a machine that is just growing. It's just growing. It's a lot of fun.
So how do you help MSPs, David?
You don't know how to do cyber posture assessment. We can do it for you. You don't know how to do a penetration testing. I have today around 40 penetration testers, anything from critical infrastructure experience to simple mobile applications. We're just creating this extra capacity and knowledge on demand. You don't need to go and hire 100, like the CEO of ConnectWise mentioned, he's actually absolutely correct. 150K for an average experienced engineer in US. Can MSP hire that? No.
Wow.
No chance, right? There is another actually mind-blowing statistic that I found a few years back. Coming from big enterprise, I work for large enterprises in North America. You hear about Bank of America, AT&T, Verizon, you think all organizations like that. But the reality is that small and medium businesses making more than 99% in US and in Canada and actually globally. But the expenditure on cyber, about 65% comes from these less than 1% enterprises. And we basically said how we can help these small guys. We're coming from the place we want really to protect them. We hope we will make a good business as well, but how do you help these guys? And IT MSPs, many times, I spent many years in IT, they have so much on their plate. We see it across the board. They need to maintain network, backups, users calling with tickets, help me this, help me that. Can you build expertise around cyber? Most of the time, no, unless you're hiring this expensive resource. And here's a dirty secret. One guy is not enough. You need to have different, cyber has around 40 to 50 different domains.
Wow.
How do you hire people with different set of skills? Oh, so you'll need to hire 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. And what if some of them are juniors, so you cannot put them in front of the clients? So this is exactly where we come. Say, hey guys, don't hire anyone. Buy your technology. We will come and give you capacity of capabilities on demand. You need it now, we'll help you with this. You need something else tomorrow, you need the incident response simulation exercise, we'll do it for your clients, no problem. And this is why it's literally mushrooming, it's booming.
What's your experience with MSPs?
We have today, most of our sales channels are IT MSPs. We're selling predominantly through partners, and most of them are IT MSPs.
What's your biggest surprise working with MSPs? Are there any?
Biggest surprise, and I think till today, I'm surprised that some of them are still complacent at this reality. Once you assume you know the best, this is where you will get it the worst. I always say, hey, we come in peace. Like we come to work together. I'm not here to I have a couple of principles that if IT MSP bring me a client, never. It's religious for me. Never we go around.
Right.
A lot of people say, oh, we're doing that. We are the best. And say, do you have guys that trained on cyber in your team? No. Once the answer is like that, you know they have problem. And again, how do you lead people to understand that? Buddy, it's not about your or my ego. By the way, I'm saying I have second degree black belt in Okinawan Goju-Ryu. You want to fight? Let's fight. Most probably I'll win. But I here really to create partnership and help. And we have phenomenal partnership where we bring a business to IT MSPs sometimes because we come and see clients that they have terrible IT base, and without solid foundation of IT, you cannot build cybersecurity house. Like if you have a foundation that's rotten, it will fall.
Right.
IT hygiene is fantastic. So many times we come to clients and say, hey, like you have some IT provider, you even don't have a contract with him, and it's a one-guy shop. Let us refer you to someone who actually can help you. This is one way. And many times people are saying, David, we don't know what to do, what you do, just you are our cybersecurity subcontractor. Anything you do we do in cyber for our clients, you guys do it as a white label, and it works fantastic today.
David, there's a lot of security vendors in there, in the pavilion. What should MSPs ask vendors to qualify them?
There is a lot of vendors selling technology.
Yes.
What I'm always telling IT MSP, and being a military man, I like to pull people's leg. So, listen, imagine I can give you a fighter jet, F-35 right now.
Nice.
Can you fly a fighter jet?
Of course not. Yeah.
This is exactly my point with tools. It's not what you have, it's what you do with that. And it's ancient Greeks, it's not me. This philosophy, you need to have capacity and capability to use those tools effectively. And again, tools, anyone can go and buy any tool you want to.
Right.
Will it give you protection? Most probably not. And this is our biggest differentiator. So guys, we're here to help you, to provide extra capacity so you can protect your clients. And by the way, you will make much more money because it's your clients.
David, has there been anything in the last month or so you changed your mind on?
Oh, this is a tough question.
Big, small, anything?
You will not believe, but I have to tell you.
Okay.
I'm a big car guy. I love cars, big engines. I got a renter here.
Yes.
A Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah.
Hybrid. I love to drive this car. And I called my wife. Said, oh my God, I don't believe it, but I like to drive
Why?
that. You know, I think it's actually a very interesting question. It's a progress. You know, the acceleration, the features, like I have some sport car, but it's a raw experience. You know, like you need to work on it. It's just so fun. Like I was not ready with any other answer, but you asked. Here's my answer.
It's fascinating. Yeah. Have you driven an electric car like a Tesla?
Actually, I did.
Fast, right?
Fast, and again, it was my bad that electric cars will not be
Mainstream, really.
will not be mainstream going forward, but it will be, you know, urban buses, trucks. I think it will come there. So, and I didn't switch to electric cars because I said, you know, like, let's wait. Like, there's no infrastructure. Range anxiety is for everywhere. And about 6 months ago, I got a renter in one of the cities. I don't remember where I was. They said, oh, sorry, you'll have Tesla. It's like, I'm not charging it. So, no, like, how much do you need to drive? Said, about 100 kilometers. Full charge, it will be fine.
Yeah.
It again was like, oh my God, this thing is going. Like, it was dual motor Model 3. I like the car. Yeah. It's a bit different, but once you get, after 2 days, you're getting used to it. It's cool.
Yes, yeah.
And again, Elon is a fantastic guy. Like, I like what he does. Really revolutionary. Yeah.
So I started my MSP in the 90s, and I was working way too hard, 14, 16-hour days. You're no stranger to this, David. And I was putting my health in the back, you know, and not paying attention. Next thing I know, I'm in front of the doctor. I'm at 340 pounds. She tells me I'm at 340. If you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. My daughter was just born. Scared the life out of me. So I spent the next 6-7 months, lost about 120 pounds, and kept it off. You know, you can't look at it as a finishing line. These are lifelong changes you have to make. So when I tell people the story, they always say, what's your secret? What you do? And there's no secret, David. Discipline. That's how I left it off. Focus, willpower. How does discipline play a role in your life?
Yeah, so you're asking a military man.
Yes, military with your background in karate.
So, you know, in karate, actually, they're saying only 1 out of 10,000 people that start training actually getting to black belt.
Whoa.
And black belt is just the beginning of your journey in karate. Like, and I think discipline, persistence, and consistency. This is the key. And I also like to read all these management books. Jim Collins from Built to Last, Great by Choice.
Yes,
I don't remember
Jim
which
Collins.
book exactly, but he was giving that example of two teams that have been trying to get to Antarctica or North Pole, Antarctica. Please excuse me, I don't remember. And this one team, they just been running ahead, and eventually they didn't make it. All of them died. Versus the other team that was doing 20 kilometers a day.
Right.
Regardless if it was a nasty day, super hard to go, or 20 kilometers at a super nice day, still 20 kilometers. Once you measure it, life is a marathon, right? I didn't run never marathon, but I did longer runs in the army. This way, marathon not interesting me, but once you have this consistent approach, anyone will burn. Anyone will lose the sight of your target. I think the book just explained it to me in the words, but I always like consistency, and this is what I'm driving in my business. I'm telling my people, guys, ensure that what you did yesterday, this is preserved, look a bit forward, but ensure that you deliver consistent quality. You don't kill yourself, you don't kill your clients, right? Because we're working with people at the end of the day. So discipline, and I think in the base is a discipline. It's very easy to defocus and lose the sight where you're going.
What motivates you, David?
It's again, good question. And you know, like at this point in life, we are 7 years old business. We are totally privately owned. We didn't take any investment. We're growing fantastically. I think doing new stuff, and we are at the point right now, I'm looking where I want, we got to the point that we're doing well. And once it is, I'm comfortable, I become uncomfortable because I want to do something more. I want to grow. So we're looking at a couple of new expansion strategies that will take us there. And I think it's a big motivator. And but it's very different from the beginning, from first years. And at the first years, we didn't take any investment. I had the little savings that we started with. Fear of failure, I think, was a big, very big push, giving you big push that you don't realize how much it's actually pushing you. Because there's no plan B.
Right.
If you're done, you're done. Like, you have to go back to corporate job. I didn't want to do that.
Right.
So I'm not sure I can do it again ever, but I learned also to say never say never.
Right. So given that motivation, persistence, how do you measure success?
I think once you're at the beginning, it's very simple. Can you feed your family? Can you sleep well at night because you're not afraid, how do I pay my mortgage and my other bills, right? But at this stage, I think success, one of the things that we actually partners in the company, we are excited by, how do we made to the point that we are doing well, how do you give beyond that? Because we actually heavily investing to cyber education, but not cyber awareness education.
Right.
How do we teach next generation of kids cyber? How do we help universities to build cyber education programs? How do we help corporates around the globe to bring people that they actually can get better in cyber defense for their organization? So this act of giving many times give you this joy, and this is who I am from very young age, and these things are motivating me. Besides the fact that business is growing and we'll investing into strategies that will grow more. I think it's small things. It's nothing bombastic, but it is what it is.
David, I thank you so much for coming by. Anybody wants to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you? David.Chernitzky at armorcyber.io. I'm happy to drop my contact details. Please share it. And I love to meet new people, and they're happy to just provide advice. No strings attached. This is how we're growing, and this is how we be. I like the message here at the conference. It's really community thing. It's not just these. No one vendor can solve all problems, right? No one MSP can deal with all problems. Right. It's a really community thing that you can do together. Chernitsky.
TZKY. Chernitzky. Chernitzy at armorcyber.io.
Thank you so much, David. I really
Thank
appreciate
you very much.
it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources, and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.